Okay, so question 2 and 3, expanding and factorising. From what I can understand, most of us are pretty happy with expanding. Okay, let's just do a few from this set of questions. You'll see, maybe in your test, but definitely in your textbooks, that it says to expand using the distributive law. Okay, remember we talked about in class that the word distributive is like to distribute, which means to share. Okay, so if I say distribute these lollies evenly, it means to share them out. So it's saying share or distribute whatever is inside the bracket with whatever is outside the bracket. So the 7 has to be shared with the L and the 7 has to be shared with the 2. So to expand it out, it's 7 multiplied by L. Okay, you have to concentrate on what that operation is. Sometimes it's plus, sometimes it's subtract, you bring it down. 7 multiplied by 2. So you've shared whatever is outside the bracket with whatever is inside the bracket by multiplying. That's what the distributive law is. Okay, so your answer would be 7L plus 14. 7L plus 14. These two are just as easy, except there's a subtract there, but the process is the same. Okay, let's look at this one because there's an extra coefficient inside the bracket. So share, share. 9 times 2m. You don't have to write this step out. 9 times 7. It's just making sure we understand the distributive law. So we say 9 times 2 is 18. M, take away 9 sevens, 63. A lot of students will jump straight to that line of working, and that's fine. Okay, this one's similar to this one, but we've got, a couple of variables here. So this sometimes is where writing things out makes it really clear to us. So 8p multiplied by 10p looks like this. 8p multiplied by 5, put our subtraction sign in. 8p times 5. Okay, so we've got 8 times 10 is 80. And we've got p squared because of the 2 p's. Take away 8 fives are 40 p. Okay, you can't subtract those or anything because this is p squared, this is p. Okay, so you just expand your brackets, it becomes really clear, and then simplify your two terms. Okay, take note that there's a negative here. Maybe there's a negative on your test. Just maybe. So negative 4x times 2x squared plus this time negative 4x times 3. Okay, so we'll have to do this one down here. Okay, so back in term 1 we worked on integers and we learnt that you can think about 4 times 2 as 8 to get you started, but if you have two different signs when multiplying or dividing, it's actually a negative. So 4 times 2 is 8, but because this is a negative and that's a positive, it's negative 8. Okay, we've got x, 1 there, and x to the squared there, so there's 3 x's all together. 1, 2, 3, x to the power of 3. Alright, plus, okay, so 4 times 3 is 12, but this is a negative, this is a positive, so it's a negative 12x. Okay, really, if you did that in a test, you'd get your marks. But if this was a textbook question, or more correctly, you leave the negative 8x cubed. So if you plus a minus, or if you add a negative, I should say, if you add a negative, it really is the same as just subtracting 12x. Okay, so either of these answers are mathematically correct, but I guess this one is more simplified. Okay, because we've gotten rid of this messy stuff in the middle. To add a negative, it really is the same as subtracting, but both these answers are mathematically correct. Alright, let's look at this one. Running out of room here. Might squeeze this up here. So we've got 8g bracket 4g plus 9h take away 4. Same thing. Whatever's inside the bracket, you share it. So let's just work it through this time. What's 8 fours? Because there's no negatives to think about. 8 fours are 32. Okay, G is going to be G squared. Okay, 8 nines. 72. GH. Take away 8 fours are 32G. Okay, so your answer is 32G squared plus 72GH. Take away, because of the takeaway here, 32G. Okay, factorising. So this seems to be the thing, as I've asked a few kids out in the playground what they still need to work on. So if I do a few here, hopefully we can get the hang of it. These 3 questions are quite similar. So it's about, I like to write things down. This is nothing but 5 times b. It cannot be anything else. Okay, 25, that one's pretty easy. Okay, it's either 1 times 25 or 5 times 5. You wouldn't use 1 times 25 because the point is to find the highest common factor between the 2 sets of brackets. Okay, so then you take that 5 out, set it outside the bracket, and what you've got left is b plus 5. Okay. These are all very similar. Okay, it's just about knowing your times tables and knowing your factors. That's probably the main hiccup with these ones. All right, we've got 12R and 36. Okay, so you can go 12 times R. Okay, and now we know that 12 times 3 is 36. So 12 comes out and we are left with R take away 3. Alright, we might do an extra one here. 6 times D plus, okay, you can do 3 times 10, but you wouldn't do 3 times 10 because 3 times 10 doesn't match anything in here. 1 times 30, you wouldn't bother. Okay, hopefully we can see that 6 times 5 is our best option because we have a common factor there. 6D plus 5 is what's left. Okay, this one, there's nothing different about it except the fact there's an extra term in our expression to consider. So we're going to leave AF, okay, because it's hopefully going to match up with, okay, 8 times 3 is 24 times G, okay, plus maybe not 8 because 8 fours are 32. So trial and error. We have to think of a common factor that's going to go into each of these. So we've got 2 times 4, okay, we could go 2 times 4 times F plus 2 times 12 times G plus 2 times 18. So 2 this time is our common factor. 2 comes out. What have we got left? 4F in that bracket, 12G in that bracket, and 18 in that bracket. Okay, an 8-minute video. I'll pause that and we'll do another video for the back page.